So examining the concept of demand in economics, demand is a way that economists figure out how badly do people want to buy things. Demand is defined as the likelihood that any consumer will purchase a given quantity at a given price. So one of the things that economists will do is we'll look at a series of prices on the y-axis and then quantities on the x-axis, and then they'll just look at consumers' preferences. Well, for example, if a particular product, and we're just going to say coffee, was priced at a price of $10 a cup, how many cups would you want to buy? $10 a cup? Well, you're probably not going to want to buy very many. In fact, I can only think of certain circumstances like, I don't know, you're at a really, really high scale restaurant or something like that. So let's say, very little, let's say even a half a cup. So if the price is $10, you're only going to want to buy a half a cup. If the price is $8, well, maybe there's more scenarios there that you might want to buy, and maybe it's 2, and then down to $6. So over at at the price of 8, the price of 8, we buy 2 cups. At the price of 6, maybe we're feeling a little bit more like we want the coffee. And then $4, even more. And at $2, this is where we're very likely to buy coffee, 2 fourths, so let's say 6, 8 cups. So that when we sort of look at all the prices and all the quantities we're likely to buy, it's likely that we're going to find that as the price increases, we're going to buy fewer cups of coffee, and as the price decreases, we're going to buy more. Another way of looking at it is to say, for each additional cup of coffee I want, I would only consume it if I were able to pay less for it. So, for example, I've had 2 cups of coffee. Do you want to buy 4? Well, only if you give it to me on a discount. And the reason that we do that is because of a concept that economists call diminishing marginal benefit. In other words, I get a certain amount of benefit from drinking 2 cups of coffee. In fact, I will price that benefit at $8. That's exactly how much it's worth to me, $8 per cup. But the next cup of coffee, the third cup, my heart's starting to race, my blood pressure's going up. Had enough? Well, okay, if it goes down in price, maybe I'll buy it. If it goes down in price a little bit more, maybe I'll buy another cup. In other words, I'm only going to buy an additional cup if the price goes down, because the marginal benefit or the benefit of the next cup consumed continues to go down for me. So the demand curve slopes down from left to right because I appreciate or enjoy each cup of coffee a little bit less than the previous one. So this is called the individual demand curve. This is just my demand curve. But we could also look at taking your demand curve for coffee, my demand curve, everybody's demand curve for coffee, and we could say that the sum, that's supposed to be the sum symbol, the sum of individual demands equals total consumer demand. So economists would really just quite simply look at the individual demand curve of every individual in a marketplace, add them up, and come up with consumer demand. So when we talk about demand, we could be talking about demand for the individual, but we could also be talking about demand for the consumer, for all consumers in the market. Sorry, misspoke there. So demand, again, is a relationship between price and quantity. Price and quantity. How much will you buy at each and every price? How much are you willing and able to buy at each and every price? Willing and able to buy at each and every price.